So I'm finally done with this 2007 335xi N54 motor, and the problem with this car apparently was the turbos. At 135,000 miles, the original turbos would not seal under boost pressure and would result in a check engine code and loss of boost, loss of power. So through a lot of trial and error, I came to the conclusion that it was the turbos. So what I had to do was basically I used the engine support bar and the factory tow hook that screws right into the block. It's not very visible, but basically you support the motor and then remove everything on this side, and after that you take the subframe and drop it completely. And this is an all-wheel drive car, so it has the front CV axles, which I did not touch. Luckily I was able to get around those. The passenger side is what I'm talking about, but I had to take the steering rack and pivot it out of the way. Factory intercooler, which has been replaced, but intercooler has to come off. Basically the subframe comes out, and then the motor mount, which is there, and the factory downpipes, which have been replaced when I did this job, have to come out, along with all of the steering components like the control arm and the tension strut, sway bar, if I hadn't mentioned that. All of that has to come off, and the water pump, which is barely visible. Basically everything off the left side of the motor has to be removed just to be able to access the turbos. And so I probably spent, I'd say, 10 hours just to remove the turbos. And at that point I had purchased a set of core turbos that were low mileage, and I put a wastegate rebuild kit in them that I purchased offline, which was the problem with mine. The bushing and the actuator arm for the wastegate wear over time with heat cycles, and then that causes a axial play in the arm that results in a boost leak when it's trying to seal up under boost pressure. So all in all, I just got the turbos in and everything buttoned up, all the steering components. I bled the cooling system. You know, it was a job. I would say I probably have 20 hours invested into this BMW just to, you know, just to be able to run the car like it's intended to be. But it was nice that I was able to do that myself. Otherwise, I think BMW charges, I think, like 4.8K, you know, $4,800 with labor, including the cost of a set of brand new turbos, which run like $1,600 or so, probably more from a dealer. So you know, I'm pretty happy that I saved about $5,000, as this car is not worth probably that much more than that, being a 10-year-old 135,000 mile car. But it's in great shape, and hopefully I have something now that I can not worry with and drive. So yeah, this would be the first start after the turbo replacement. So this would be the moment of truth here. A little bit nervous, but let's give it a shot. I'm actually gonna have to get in on the driver's side and push the clutch. So this is on video, and if I see a leak or the turbo's grenade, I'll probably lose my shit on video. So comfort access, they'll try to lock me out. All right, moment of truth here. This car is a 6-speed, which I very much will enjoy. And I purchased a cable and a cheap tablet and loaded up an MHD wedge tune, stage 2 plus, as I just put on the front mount intercooler and the downpipes. So I think this car will be sitting over probably around 360 wheel horsepower, hopefully. Somewhere, I would say somewhere between 300 and 400. at the wheels. Not likely close to 400, but over 3. So it should be a pretty quick car for what it is. All right, guys. Let's start it. I don't hear any wastegate rattle. I hope. Time to check for leaks. Hopefully that's just some residual coolant, the oil burning off. Otherwise, I've got a leak. Well, I see a lot of smoke. Yeah, that's just residual oil on the turbo. I'm praying. Alright guys, there you have it. It runs. This car hasn't been started in about 4 months as I've been working on it on and off throughout work and school. So hopefully the job's done.